Ping pong.
Ping pong.
Good evening, everybody.
สวัสดีครับ Hi.
Yes. It is a wonderful Friday night once again, and welcome to another episode of Geeks at Sea. Joining me here today is a very, very special friend of mine. He is, in his words, a legendary MC.
Okay, you go.
And one of Thailand's upcoming big boy podcasters, Pochi alias Ta.
Hello สวัสดีครับ to be honest, it's not. How should I put this when people calling me like, oh, you're a legend. No, I'm not a legend. I'm just the guy who working like 20 years for 20 years and still on the industry. That's all.
All right. So anyways, okay. So for those who are first time here joining us here today, I just want to do a couple of quick introductions and a couple of quick disclaimers. Like first and foremost, if you've never joined us before, Geeks at Sea is a small little project I do on this little channel of mine. I usually do a lot of like game-centric stuff and stuff like that. But Geeks at Sea is a very special thing where I pull in people that I know that's been in the industry for a while, either as a participant or as some sort of organizer or some sort of creator of some sort. And we go to start talking about how things have changed, how we got introduced to the things that we love, the geeky hobbies and interests that we have, and how we sort of grew up with it, and that's how it's led us to do the stuff that we do. Give me a show. I just realized I didn't reduce the volume of my background music. It's a bit louder than it should be.
Really? I don't know. I didn't watch your stream. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so that's so that's what Geeks at Sea is about. So at its best, it is a wonderful, like it's a wonderful historical document over our experiences and all that kind of stuff. At its worst, it's just nostalgia bait, and you'll just be listening to two old people talking about their good old days.
We are otaku. It's not just otaku, but it's old. We already, bro.
So Pochi introduced me to that term for the first time when we were discussing about this podcast very specifically, and I completely fell in love with it. I'm going to use it more often as much as I can. Otaku it is.
Yeah.
Right. So a special additionally to that, just a couple of quick disclaimers. Number one, as I've every session I start off with every session basically highlighting that sharing a lot of personal stories here. A lot of the stories are based on our personal experiences, basically things that we lived through. So because all these are based on our personal experiences, documentation is kind of not quite there, you know? So we're a little bit old. Our memories are not always perfect. So sometimes some things are not going to be very precise. You can come up to me and say, after the stream or something, you go like, hey, Jared, Pochi, you on stream, you said that 50,000 people attended this event. Actually, there were 53 or there were 72 or something like that. And the odds are you are probably right. Because the fact is, we are going to be calling out all these numbers off the top of our heads. And sometimes, having gone through as much as we have, our memories are going to be a little fuzzy. Huh?
Some of the event is like 10 years ago. So,
right?
yeah, our memory sometimes is a bit blurred. That's all. But we're trying to doing as much as possible to remember the event.
Exactly. So that's number one. And number two, both me and Pochi, we've been involved in a lot of different organizations. So sometimes when we talk about things, it's going to sound like as though we're representing organizations. I need to flag out that we are not. We're going to talk about stuff that's really purely from our own perspective. So we are not representing any organization at all. So don't take anything we say, our opinions or impressions or anything else like that as like words of those organizations. So if, say, for example, a long time ago, I used to be helping out Comic Fiesta very actively. If I tell you today and say like, this cosplayer is not very good, or I like that cosplayer more, whatever shit there is, right? Like they are not representations of Comic Fiesta's opinions on these kind of things. I need to flag it out very clearly as an example.
Understand. Okay. All right.
Two big disclaimers. I want to add one extra thing though.
Sure.
For those who are joining us for the first, this stream is also very, very unique for two other reasons. Number one, this is Pochi's first ever all English stream.
Please spare me. English is not I'm from Thailand, so English is not my mother tongue.
So we may go back and forth a little bit to try and help him along to get to the point. So please don't nitpick his English, all right? So that's number one. All right?
That's number one. Then what is number two?
Number two, for those who want a very interesting experience and like to listen to us in stereo surround sound, you can join both me and Pochi's stream at the same time because he's parallel streaming on his channels. His links are all in the description below. And you can actually just check it out, both of us at the same time, and have both playing with this kind of weird, funky surround sound effect. I have no idea how it's going to turn out, by the way. If it turns out like it's not as fantastic as you think it would be, please feel free to just like mute one of us.
Just mute both of us and watch our good looking.
Speak for yourself, man. I think you're still better looking than I do.
Nah, bro. I'm fat. I mean, after COVID, it's like 10 kilo fatter than before.
Anyways,
yeah. Right. Okay. Let's go.
Okay. Yes, let's go back in. Let's go straight into the things.
Sure.
We're a little bit tight on time tonight, so let's go straight to the topic. I start all of my sessions here very, very simply with one very, very quick question.
Sure.
Pochi, what was your first geekdom? What was the first geeky thing you got into, and like when and where was it?
The geeky thing, you mean like since? Could we like mention back to like when we as a kid playing the toy or just a hobby? Is that count?
I think that's a actually very, very good distinction. Strangely enough, whenever I talk to someone about this, most of the time we're talking about like either the first anime or the first comic or the first movie or something like that really stuck up in their heads and got them really excited about this kind of things, you know? But personally for me, I think it really is about first impressions, right? Like what's the first thing that sparked you to take an interest in sort of geek related stuff, you know?
To be honest, okay, when we grow up with the like Japanese animation, right? Like I don't know, because in my country, in Thailand, we have like every weekend in the morning, there's a channel that like have like I cannot remember, it's like 3 or 4 hours long run about the anime, like Kinnikuman Man, the wrestling one, the Dragon Ball, something like
the flips kind of thing.
Yeah, the thick lip, that one. Then the normal Japanese cartoon on that time include the tokusatsu, something like that. Then but that one is like when we was a kid, I believe everyone grow up with the Japanese animation or Japanese live action. But then the thing that kind of catch me, like push me into something like this, I never say this to anyone or I can't remember. Okay, but the thing that like pull me into the ACG thingy is, you know, Tamiya, right?
Yes, the race car, right? The race car.
The race car, the Tamiya one, the 4-wheel drive one. Actually, that one I read the like manga, and
That's right.
I'm not quite sure, but I didn't have like the like the memory about the animation one, but
Right.
I have most of them came from like the manga. Then my dad, my dad, when I was a kid, sometimes he's like playing video games, but okay, to be honest, it's not like the gamer daddy, just like for casual thing. But then he's introduced me into the Tamiya one, the 4-wheel drive, and he teach me how to modify and go to the event for racing. It's like nowadays that daddy bring their kid to the event just for an excuse for dad to play something.
So your dad actually actively bought you and encouraged you to play with Tamiya. Cars.
Remember, it's like around 12 or 13, something like that, if I'm not wrong.
That's fantastic. Okay, so it's very fascinating to me because I've done this. This is my 12th show, and because I'm Malaysian, a lot of the people have done this Malaysians, and a lot of us have grown up. Most of the people that I've had this chat with, right, across Peninsular Malaysia, most of us actually grew up in part with you have two types of people who grew up with the Western cartoons. So we have people who grew up with things like Centurion, things like that.
Transformer, like that.
Sort of almost a bit of that as well. And then you have this separate other group which I sit somewhere in between with, where we were watching things like Speed Racer, Imba the White Lion, and things like that.
I think because in Thailand is kind of different. I mean, because in Thailand is like we watch the animation from both sides. But okay, to be honest, from the Western, mostly is like just the mainstream one, like Transformer, or but most of my memory is kind of messed up on that time. Okay, let's say Transformer and Gundam at the same time. But for Speed Racer, I don't think maybe it might be like one generation earlier or something, because I don't have like the memory of the Speed Racer. But okay, but we watched like the thing that they show on the Cartoon Network, like Tom and Jerry, something like that. So
so I'll call that one out a little bit. Cartoon Network is like Tom and Jerry is not on Cartoon Network, but that's a very different discussion.
Okay. Sorry.
But no, nothing to apologize for, because I think a lot of people think a lot of cartoons, like when people think about Tom and Jerry, it's very easy for them to think about Cartoon Network because Tom and Jerry is not Disney, and that is definitely not Nickelodeon, right? But it's kind of weird because if you think about it, I don't even recall Tom and Jerry being on Cartoon Network myself. Like, were they ever on Cartoon Network?
Not sure. I mean, like, let's put it this way, that we watched like the cartoon from like the both side, but like, okay, it's not from Disney. I can't remember Tom and Jerry. I believe Tom and Jerry is okay, never mind. Just said this way that just the mainstream one. So the thing like the Tom and Jerry, the thing like Speed Racer, I don't think I watched when I was a kid. And like even the can't remember the Go Lion, right? The 5 tiger robot combined together.
Voltron.
We never call it Voltron, we call it Go Lion.
So by the way, this is one thing that's very interesting. I've always enjoyed these conversations a little bit sometimes because whenever we talk about the shows that we've watched, I always love hearing about how some things are localized in our respective countries.
Yep.
Because what happens is that an interesting thing. Do you know Kamen Rider RX? It's one of the most popular Kamen Riders, and it was localized into BM Bus Malaysia.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and interestingly, I found out about this. This is so I did a show with someone in Indonesia a while back. We were comparing notes about this. If I'm not mistaken, and if I'm wrong, please point it out to me. But Kamen Rider RX is also localized in Indonesia as Baja Hitam, very specifically BAJA Hitam, HITIM, which Baja itself is very weird of a choice of words, but Hitam means black, in case you're wondering. So, that kind of thing is black color.
Eh, what is it called again? What is it called again? BAJA.
Yeah, Baja Hitam.
And KIT.
No, HITAM.
HITM,
Yeah, so
Baja
this is obviously
Hitam.
tokusatsu. Yeah, so it's very tokusatsu kind of thing. Malaysia had it, Indonesia had it, and apparently we shared the same translations. Why I think this was something that's very interesting is that calling it Baja Hitam makes no sense. Because the word Baja in Malay, at least in Malay, means fertilizer.
Fertilizer.
Yes. So like the one that you put on, crops and like
yeah. Understand?
Like plant food. Yeah, it means fertilizer. It makes no sense. So
okay, I have my own story too. Then you're going to compare Malaysia and Thailand too.
That's been fantastic. Let's do this. So just to finish my story. So the theory is, what I've heard, the rumor is that there was a typo in the translation files. They meant to write baju hitam, and baju in Malay means clothes. So it literally baju hitam would have translated into black clothes. Or somebody wearing black.
I see.
Which would make perfect sense because it's like, a description of the costume, right? So it makes a lot of sense. Baju hitam.
I see.
And so the running theory we have is like someone did a typo somewhere and it became Baja Hitam, and because no one wanted to change it, it is Baja Hitam forever.
But it's like fertilizer. Black fertilizer. Okay. But to be honest, because you said they have localized, right? In Thailand also have localized too. Because of the Kamen Rider is supposed to be like every Kamen Rider is supposed to represent some kind of insect, right?
Right.
In Thailand, all Kamen Rider represent ant. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but first I believe they said like, okay, because of the first Kamen Rider is supposed to be like the ant. I'm not sure this is right or wrong or something. Then we call it like ไอ้มดแดง which mean the red ant.
มดแดง
Yeah, ไอ้มดแดง like the red ant. Then the
fire ants kind of thing.
Yeah, and after that we also always called all the Kamen Rider the red ant.
Fascinating.
Yeah, even they are like, I remember some of them are like from parrot, or like the RXs came from the curry. How? Yeah, the cockroach. No, not cockroach. Sorry.เชียร์ตะกะแตนใช้คำว่าอะไรวะ not the mantis, the grasshopper. Yeah. It's supposed to be like something like that, but we always call them ant. Then after the era change, like our era is like Showa, right? Then when the era change and the licensing is changing too, so they start to like changing the names because of the new licensing companies feel like okay, is supposed to be like a hopper. Sometimes it came from like the
Right.
the beetle. So
Right.
yeah, so they changed from like just ไอ้มดแดง which is the red ant to the just Kamen Rider or the Masked Rider.
So that's something that's so just to come back a little bit, right?
Yeah, sure.
When did Kamen Rider like? Do you have any impressions of like when did Kamen Riders really started picking up? Like was picking up in Thailand, or is like Japanese content always super popular in Thailand?
I think on that time it's very popular. Like when we're talking about like the pillar of the Japanese culture is going to be like the Kamen Rider, the Sentai, and Ultraman, also Gundam.
Right.
And it's have and I think it's same problem in Southeast Asia, which is when people start to call every robot Gundam.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man.
Yeah. Then the
But
same.
it's a bit crazy though. Like so this is one thing that I was like to talk about for comparison's sake, right? Like when you started Tamiya, that was in what, the 80s, 90s? Is it 90s?
I think it's supposed to be 90 something. Yes.
Right.
And
So that was 90s in Bangkok, Thailand.
yeah.
During that time, right? Like tokusatsu's already established thing, right? Like it's pretty
Yes.
popular where you're at. How what does it look like to at that level in Bangkok and in Thailand specifically in general? Like what I mean by that is like, so just for comparison, right? In Malaysia, if you were to ask somebody on the side of the road, do you know Budget Income, which is once again our Kamen Rider RX, right? Do you know Kamen Rider RX? I think the odds of somebody knowing, I think is less than 50%, right? You ask somebody if they know Doraemon, for example. In our case, Doraemon was quite popular in KL,
Yep.
Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia.
Same.
If you ask them, do you know Doraemon? There was a higher chance. You know?
Yep.
So how was that in Thailand and Bangkok? Is it like was it a very good chance that someone would know? Is it something that you can find like easily and things like that?
I think yes. Every mall have like the toy, like the toy section. So every toy is like, if not Gundam, must be like Kamen Rider if possible, or the like the vinyl figure of the Ultraman. Doraemon, Hello Kitty is not popular at that time. Okay, but people know, and because of the like, you know about the Ultraman licensing law enforce like the law drama, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, because
What
of
drama is that?
because of the like the Thai companies claim that they're also like the co-inventor of the Ultraman. So because of that, yeah, during like the early 2000, the Ultraman have like the licensing issue, so they cannot, because they still fight on the court. So because of that, they cannot doing like they cannot do like the new Ultraman or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah, because of
okay.
the law enforcement that happened during that time. But because of
yeah.
the like Ultraman, also the Kamen Rider, on that time actually they have like the, I can't say it's Thai version, but it's have like the special movie that happened in Thailand.
Oh, as in like it's based in Thailand, or like it was a special movie specifically only released in Thailand?
Specifically released in Thailand, and they have like the all the Kamen Rider cast come to Thailand, something like that. They even have like the music video too.
Wow.
Let me find for you.
Yeah, so while you're looking, right, like let me see whether I understand you correctly there. Because of a rights issue between what essentially is some Thai rights holders and the Japanese rights holders for the IP of Ultraman,
Yep.
basically they couldn't create any new Ultraman. And then at some point, because some of the rights holders are still are based in Thailand and all that, they made a movies that's meant to be released only in Thailand. So it's not a worldwide release. It's not even a Japanese release. It's only available in Thailand.
Yes.
And not only did they do it, not only is it an official, quote unquote, official Ultraman movie.
Actually, that one is supposed to be like the official one because they have like the costume.
Right.
Okay, because on that time is Ultraman versus Hanuman. You know Hanuman, right? From Ramana. Yeah.
Okay, so sorry. Pardon my expression because I didn't know that was real. So what happened was that
not asking, but I believe that one. I think that one is real. But
so what happened was that as a kid, right?
Yeah.
As a kid, I could swear I saw posters of it.
Yeah. I sent on the document. That one came from 1974 Chayo film. Chayo is like the company that they said like they also have the law enforcement with the Japanese about the Ultraman right.
Okay, it's this one, right? Let me just pull this one up. Oh God, this is crazy.
Yeah, and if I'm not wrong, I believe they have like the suit of the Hanuman at the studio in Japan too.
Okay, give me a short while. Let me just very quickly.
Sure.
What I want to do is I want to download and show this one because this is insane.
Yeah, and I sent you on the Facebook. That one is the link of the MV of Kamen Rider in Thailand.
This is crazy. So give me a minute. Yeah, let me just pull it up. This is crazy.
Yeah. Let me put on my.
A quick minute.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, here we go. All right. Yeah. So what you have there, like I swear, I think so. What happened was that as a kid, I think I saw something like this before. It's on my site here right now. I think I've seen something like this before, and I thought I was hallucinating.
It's real, bro.
Because you have to understand, like I thought it was some weird like pirated.
No. but also the link of the Kamen Rider in Bangkok, like I think it's 50 years ago, 40 or 50 years ago. The MV.
Oh God,
If I'm not wrong, that's a real one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna put it up on screen. Give me a second. Let me just do this properly because oh God, this is crazy. I can't. What's really cool? Let me see what oh yeah, here we are. Okay, so this is really cool because can I do it without? Oh, I can't. Okay, never mind. It's okay. Right. So I can't. Oh God, the cropping is so weird. I don't like this, but let's just let me just do this properly. Let me see what I can do this properly. I'm so sorry, guys.
Sure.
So, I don't usually do this because as a rule, I try not to share stuff off the bat completely. But you can sort of hear it in the background. So right now what happens is let me just pull it up as the background.
Sure.
Like so this is all taken in Thailand, Bangkok kind of thing, is it?
Yes, and it's official.
Yeah, with all the Kamen Riders and shit.
Yes, and they have like the Thai version of the song too.
Oh God, this is insane.
Yeah.
So once again, like, just to go over it again, right? Like so basically because there were rights holders that were based in Thailand, and because the rights issues were not fully sort of resolved, effectively the rights holders took advantage of that and said, we're just going to make a bunch of movies, a bunch of MVs, whatever else there is. We're going to make a bunch of content that is based in Thailand. And then that basically covers things like this, which is like Kamen Rider in Thailand, just bicycling, or is it motorcycling? It is motorcycling.
Yep.
Motorcycling through the streets of Thailand versus the other side, which is like Hanuman and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Very, very Thai-centric content, versions of the content.
Yes, and if I'm not wrong, actually they also have like, because the Japanese, when they send the tokusatsu to Thailand, right? So we're trying to have our own tokusatsu too, but when we're trying to do like the original one is not that good, but we consider as the symbol of the nation is Hanuman. So we're trying to put Hanuman on every like collaboration with Tokusatsu. Like, because it's not just Hanuman and Ultraman, we have Jumbo A versus Hanuman too.
Jumbo A, sorry.
Jumbo A. Let me find the Jumbo A. Jumbo A.
Okay, so while you're trying to look for that, right? Like, but basically, what I am hearing though is like Ultraman is a.
Sorry. Not Hanuman. Is another the demon giant. The demon giant. Oh shoot! This one is like before I was born. Many years before I was born.
Okay, never mind. It's okay. Let's come back to the years that you were around. But yeah, so okay, I see it. Yes, I can pull this up. Give me a while, yeah?
Yep.
But yeah, so I wanted to ask was just so basically when you were growing up by then, right? Was this issue resolved already? Was it still a lingering issue by the time that you were born?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Like while you were growing up, right? Were these issues of like the rights for Ultraman, was it resolved already? Was it still an issue by the time that you were growing up?
Actually, when I'm growing up, the issue is still on the court, but I believe they settle like 2000 something, like before 2010. Everything was already clear. But before that, they have like because of you remember the Ultraman versus Hanuman, right? The company that made it, they claim that they have right in Ultraman, not because of that movie, but because of when they first create Ultraman, the owner of the companies working on that, on the Japanese company. So, and he's like co-creator and is become like thinking about the Macross and Golden Harmony.
Understood. I think this is this is actually one thing that about rights management and IP development that gets a bit for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's so for those who are actually working with companies and stuff like that, working on your own projects, be very careful when you're doing that, because these kind of things can be an issue, especially if you work it on your company's time,
Yes.
Yeah. So okay, let's come back to the main story. So you grew up with Tamiya. Parents were. It sounds like your parents were really, really supportive of you, at least exploring Tamiya. So from doing Tamiya stuff, like did it that gave you an interest in checking out the manga and all that? Is it?
Actually, when you watch the Tamiya, right? The manga or the animation.
I actually watched the anime. I didn't want to say anything, but I only watched the anime.
You remember the guys that doing like the MC, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's actually like my inspiration. That when I grow up, I want to be that guy.
God, that's your origin story.
Yeah,
that's his origin story.
Yeah, so it's like because of that, kind of feel like, bro, he's really cool. Like during they have like the competition. I want to be the guy. I don't want to be the competitor. I don't want to be a player. I want to be that guy that having the might, casting like shoutcaster or like the MC to announce who versus against who.
fascinating.
Yeah.
I so your biggest sense of inspiration wasn't necessarily from the players, the guys who were building the cars, or even the experience that you were having with your dad and all that, but really by watching the person who's there, riving up the people, riving up the crowd, riving up the players, and all that kind of stuff. Is it?
Yes, it's like one of my inspiration. Then, but because of I have to like study, then this dream become like fade away. But then I have like the opportunity during actually when I'm studying university, I got the opportunity because I'm playing like the Magic the Gathering. Just made it actually still keep it. I just found it. The DCI judge.
Oh, you still have the old. Oh, you were a DCI judge.
Yeah, and
Wow.
is it valid until 2004? Sorry, the camera is kind of flipped on my side. Yeah, but it said 2004. So yeah, during that time and doing the judge. So yeah, on that time it's like the Tamiya guy become a dreamer, start to like become a reality again. Then I got like the opportunity to work as a columnist in the magazine about card games. Then after the card games, I moved to Ragnarok Online, MMORPG.
What were you doing for Ragnarok?
I'm doing the columnist of like analysis or like the tip and tricks. But the most actually the one that I'm starting is like because my friend said like this magazine needs some stuff to help them organize the event inside the game. So that time it's like, okay, I'm just help them organize. But then when I meet the head of editor, like the head of the department, he said like,
Right.
okay, you coming, you start create the event, then you do all the event. So instead,
Organize everything from scratch and everything.
yes. So instead of assist, become like the guy who do everything about the event inside the games. But that one is not came from the Ragnarok. It came from the magazine that working with Ragnarok.
So okay, there's a few things here that's very fascinating to me. Number one, I think at least in Malaysia, I don't recall, like I really can't speak to how popular local gaming magazines were in KL back in the day. Personally, for me, like I wasn't that much of a gamer in like my teens, partially because I grew up kind of poor. Yeah, but I mean I wasn't starving, but like I didn't really have a console or and stuff like that. So but what happened was that like I would see magazines on the shelves and stuff like that, but I don't recall seeing that many like local game magazines, like those that are published from the local scene. So what I'm hearing from you is like, at least in Thailand, right? Like there is a publishing culture, the publishing industry at least, right, is a lot more, it's lucrative enough that like you have your own internal, here are my bunch of magazines. These are Thai magazines written and edited by Thai people.
Yes.
Yep, and all that kind of stuff. That is very, very interesting. And then you ran as far as your magazines even run activities based on Ragnarok Online, like partnering with Ragnarok Online, I assume.
The magazine is called RO Club, which means Ragnarok Online Club. And yeah, because it's a magazine that focuses on this game. On that time, Thailand, actually, since I was a kid, the game magazine become a thing. And we have like two, like Mega is one of the oldest magazine. The other one is the Game Max. These two is 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 in Thailand. Actually, the first before is Game Mag is like the Hobby magazine, something like that. Hobby Max then become the Game Max or Hobby and Games. Sorry, my memory also kind of mess up. But yeah, we have like many magazine.
So for me on my side, it wasn't until my teenage years, right? That some local companies started doing game magazines, and I can't remember what they are. I have some impressions of them. I never bought them, but I have some impressions of them. I think, the closest thing we had to anything like it, right, was Gompa. Gompa wasn't a game-only magazine. It was a sort of an almost an ACG style pop culture magazine kind of thing. So they were predominantly like comics and stuff like that, and then. But then what happened was like they would have like, Final Fantasy is out. Here are a bunch of things, you know. Or this is a bunch of like new games that came out. Here's a bunch of things, you know, and things like that. So I don't recall like a big. I think there was some, but I don't recall anything being particularly successful. A very big games only magazine, you know.
I see. But in Thailand, it's different because we have like many magazine. Okay, even like for hobbies, for anything, we have the magazine about it. Also include the games because of the on that time Ragnarok is like when you guys playing Mobile Legend Bang Bang right now. Is that popular? It's become on the newspaper. It's become the news on the new television about the bad thing, the games that ruin your hit life, something like that. And so because of that popular, so they have the magazine. So I'm working for the magazine. Then after some time, actually this one, my audience already know, but I don't think I ever told to anyone, especially my overseas friends, that actually I'm graduate from the Bachelor of Law.
You are?
Yeah, Bachelor of Law. I can like go to the to take the test for the lawyer, but I didn't. Because on that time, during when I study in the university, okay, I study law, but at the meantime, during that time, I'm start to like playing the Magic the Gathering. I'm doing the judge. I'm trading the card. I'm doing the magazine. So after I'm graduate from the university, I kind of feel like, bro, I don't think I can go to the lawyer's ways anymore, to the lawyer route. So I'm changed to gaming industry, which on that time is start to like growing up. Like the companies that I working for on that time that making the magazine, they have like the new department doing the events, specifically doing the games event. Like the consult and the organizer for gaming event. Then on that time, they recruit me as like the part-time employee. Then after I finish my school, they have the like department to do the TV show.
Okay, so I just want to check.
Sure.
I just want to do a quick check. What years were these? Around what time? Like, was this like in the 90s? Is it in 2000s?
2000.
Oh, this is early 2000s already by then.
Yeah. This thing, my memory, if not wrong, is supposed to be 2006. They have the TV channel called G Square. It's happened on is on the cable TV. And
so around right. So around early 2000s, you were studying law.
Yes.
Rules lawyering for Magic the Gathering at the same time.
Yes.
And writing for a games magazine.
Yes.
Our club, right?
Yes.
So So after all of that, you graduated with a bachelor in law, but
Yes.
decided not to become a practicing lawyer,
Yes.
and decided to just go like, you know what, like you just want to go into the games industry, and like you've been and that was the time that you ended up joining them to consult on events specifically for games. So what was the company that hired you? Was this wonderful company that decided to like, hey, come and like, hey, Pochi, come and join me as a part-timer kind of thing?
Actually, during that how should I put this? Because of the companies that doing the that hiring me is one of the like the biggest companies that make the game magazine at that time. So because they're trying to expand, like the their field, like because they on that time the internet. Okay, we already have internet, but internet is not that good. Like 20 years ago, it's not that good, and the website is not their main thing yet, not yet.
Right. This is before Facebook.
Before Facebook for sure. Then they have the magazine, and they have like the pillar they call like the magazine 1, magazine 2, website, the TV show, and the last one is the SMS, the message on telephone.
Yes, for all the Gen Zers out there, there is such a thing called SMS. It is before WhatsApp. It is before. God, what else is there?
Before Messenger, before Line, before WhatsApp.
Before WeChat.
Yeah, before WeChat. We have that system, which is you have to pay for sending the message.
Yes.
Is that time of the years?
Do you still remember the like? Do you still remember the feeling you had when they announced that, oh yeah, we are going to only charge you 1 cent per SMS? Because I remember like back in the day, it was like, oh, it's 10 cents per SMS, and that was considered a deal. And then someone came up and said, oh yeah, right now we are going to have even a bigger deal. It's only 1 cent per SMS. And then we were like, wow, that is super duper cheap.
Yes. That time, okay, for Sumer, for Gen Z, on that time, our telephone cannot use internet. There's no such a thing
We have
as the smartphone.
Does anyone have a Nokia like 5310?
Yeah, the Nokia, the meme thing, that one. The one that come with the number that look like your father remote control.
Yes,
Something like
correct.
that.
Anyways, but yes. So yes, what sorry, we never got to the company that hired you. So what was the name of the company again?
Future Gamer.
Oh, okay. So
Future-
it's a magazine, right?
It's a magazine. Future Gamer is the owner. He's buying the right from the PC Gamer magazine from America, and translate into Thai. And they have like their own column from Thai columnists. Yeah, and and from that one, he expand to like from PC to online to specific game, or the other way around, I can't remember. Then they have like the right to, you know, EGM, right? EGM, the magazine, the console focus one. He also buying the right of the EGM from America to translate into to Thai too. Then because of that, we have like many magazine from PC, console, and online game, many one. Then after that, they doing the website, which is now okay. For this one is for Thai audience. The website supposed to be start as like Wikipedia for Ragnarok Online. Just Wikipedia, something like that, like the database.
Right. Okay.
Like the database for Ragnarok Online. And that website called Online Station, which is now Online Station. They changed from website into the YouTube channel. Thinking about this one is IGN Thailand. Thinking about that way.
Oh, okay. So it's basically so online station, the YouTube channel is IGN Thailand, basically.
Yeah, basically they are IGN Thailand, but okay, they're not the same brand. They're not IGN in Thailand, but the way they're working is similar.
Right. It's basically it's think of it as, right?
Yeah, think of it as, and the SMS is no more because of the when they have the when your phone can use internet, so it's not they no need to use the SMS anymore.
The only time I get SMSs nowadays anyway is either when number one, government tells me to get my vaccination. Number two, government vaccinations, and number two, when somebody asks me dear owner, do you want to sell your apartment? Who else gets SMSs anymore?
At least your number two is someone asking you about selling your apartment, but mine is we have the gamble website. Would you like to try?
Okay. I was being a bit facetious just now. The other type I also get is I say buying apartment mostly because they are offers and stuff. So I do that sometimes once where it's oh hey, do you want to borrow money?
Similar.
Yeah. It's
work scam sometimes.
Yeah, and then the World Cup periods, it's who wants to gamble on which one wins?
Yeah. Okay. Let's cut back to the my companies. Yeah, because of it's Future Gamer, but now because they're selling to the the bigger companies called True Corporation.
Right.
True Corporation is more Singtel in Singapore. But
yes, or G or in Malaysia and things like that, right?
Yeah, but bigger. I mean, they hold almost everything. Thinking about Arasaka from Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thinking about that way, and then sorry.
In that case, Singtel is actually quite accurate.
Okay. Then I think same. Then I think same. Then on that time, because I'm doing the first we just the production house sending the program to the G Square channel. Then after that, around 4 or 5 years, because of the Future Gamer, they're selling their companies to True Corporation, and the G Square also owned by True Corporation. So they merge. After that, they merge. So I have to move from FGTV, which is my department, to the G Square. Then after that, during that time, I'm studying master degree, and kind of feel on that time because they're changing the head of the department. So when they're changing the boss, they're also changing the direction too, from game channel into lifestyle channel. So because of that, let's put it this way. My direction and his direction is different. So after that, I quit from the companies to do my own. On that time, I'm also and during that time, actually during the time that I do the TV channel, I'm start with my friends. We start to making the store called Tomodachi T-shirt.
Right, and that's how I got to know you, right?
Yes, and because of that, we have I'm trying to merging because on before 2010, if I'm not wrong, it's around 2005 to 2010, the ACG event, the anime event in Thailand start to happen during that time.
It's around 2010, is it? That ACG events in Thailand starts?
2005, if I'm not wrong. But I heard that some said that some of the event already happened during 90s, like late 90s or very early 2000.
Do you remember what events they could be, or what's the name of the events and what type of events they were?
On that time is just very small event, just only like around 10 circle, if I'm not wrong, and it's not happen on the like big convention. It's just happen like on the meeting room inside the hotel.
Yeah. Of course. Actually, to be fair, that's how CF started as well. That's how Comic Fiesta started as well.
I believe every event started way.
Was that the case? Like, so was that the case in Thailand as well in the 90s, or is that like only around 2005 did they start?
Let me check. I think early 2000, but I can't like exactly sure when the first event. But during that time, what I know is ACG community in Thailand start already happened. Okay, I think the event, the longest run, and not the longest, I mean, the most further, the oldest one we have right now on the Internet Archive is 2001. It's called, the event called Escape number 2.
Wait, if that's number 2, then what were they doing in number 1?
Yeah,
Did number 1 be before?
I think before that, but this came from my friends. He's doing all the archive of the all event so far. So the oldest one is 2001. Let me send you the link.
Okay. Yeah. So just drop me the link. But yeah, that's fascinating because for those who are not familiar, Pochi, you're strictly speaking the second person I've spoken to on this channel that is not in Malaysia, that's not based in Malaysia. The history of Malaysia, I practically lived through it. But like in Indonesia, I found out from the one person I've been speaking to. So if anyone wants to correct me on this, please do. But one of the first proper ACG event in Indonesia, right, believe it or not, was AFA ID. That was like in 2010.
Really?
That's what I've been told, at least. Yeah, because prior to that, right, it never had even the concept of an ACG event in Indonesia. Like they had occasional corners for anime and stuff like that, but it was always like part of a larger like Japanese culture event, you know, that kind of thing.
Understand.
Small anime corner, that kind of thing. So they never had anything like that. Contrasting that, right, like it seems that Malaysia and Thailand seem to have very similar roots. Like we start around the early 2000s. Our event history starts around the early 2000s.
Yes.
In this case, apparently it's with that event that you just mentioned.
Actually, the another, let me check. Because of the, from my friends on my chat, they said, the actual first event supposed to be, during late 90s called Kase, which is Dojin event.
Okay.
Yeah, but the oldest cosplay event is happened 1982.
Wow.
In Thailand, it's like, remember I told you, right, that we have like the TV channel that airing the anime. Like I think is Arale, something like that. The oldest one we have, I sent on the folder.
Let me look it up.
Sure. This one is supposed to be the oldest one we have. During, if not wrong, it said like, let me check the wording. Okay, it's like end of 1982, welcome 1983.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure this is not just like some kids thing or?
It's because of on that time the cartoon is anime is considered as cartoon, right? And cartoon is for kids. So what they do is this is the event for kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now to be fair,
Sure.
For those who don't know, Arale is part of Akira Toriyama, God bless his soul. His earlier works, it is called Dr. Slump, at least it's localized to us as Dr. Slump. And Arale is one of the main characters for
Yes.
it.
Same.
But this is clearly a kids event kind of thing. This is a very interesting question in the back of my head, but I never thought to address it really in any significant way. Which is like, at what point did we really start creating a distinction between cosplaying, which is like the primary audience is more mature, more adults, and what is actually is like children's costume parties and things like that. You know, I know this is a taboo subject for some people, yeah. But I want to be very fair about this because when I was helping out CF a long time ago, we were going through this phase in the the pre-2010s kind of period. And at the time, cosplay is not a very common idea. You know?
Understand.
So, like people don't know what cosplay is. People like they only know it as something people dress up in costumes and things like that. So CF, we occasionally get like requests to come in to help support like events and like organize shows and stuff like that, right? So one of the crazier requests that we've got in the past, I can't remember whether we actually said yes to it or did we say no to it, but like we were requested to do a children's cosplay competition. And as you would imagine, right, like when you have kids involved and parents who don't fully understand what cosplay is, what they do is they have their kids come in and it's basically a talent show with costumes.
I understand.
Yeah. So it's one of those kind of things where I like because we're looking at this very specifically, right? And I don't know where that line is, to be fair, because we're very specifically talking about like the first ACG event that we can think of, right? And I can very openly tell you that at least to my knowledge, one of the ones in Malaysia